Yo, what is going on, growmies? Hope y'all are doing well, growing well. Now, growmies, after a total of 79 days, we are finally within the harvest window. When we first started this grow series, all the way back on January 7th, I decided to grow 4 autos with 4 gallons of soil buckets. Inside, only a 2x2 tent. Looking back, originally, my goal was small plants in a small tent, strong light. Hopefully we should have some fire, so that's my goal. Grow a small tent. Ideally what I want is about up to here, all bud. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see if I can train them like that. And sitting here today, before the plants, I can easily say I surpassed my goal. For this series, I decided to call it the 2x2 Mephisto versus Nightowl. Starting with the best plants. Let's see who goes first. Drum roll, please. Alright, the best looking plant in the tent, off pure bag appeal, is 100% Star Spangled Banner 3. Observing the flower attributes, we can see that the color is essentially black or really dark purple. Looking at the trichome development, there is hardly any trichs on the fan leaves, as this plant prefers to pack it all on the flowers. I would say this isn't necessarily the most frosty strain, but it's definitely not lacking. Observing the size of the flowers from the top, they're all pretty decent sized, and as well as the middle flowers, even in this compact tent. And looking at the main cola, this is why I don't top autos. If you top your auto, you lose out on the biggest main cola. And the argument that you would get more even flower by topping, let's just look at the case right next to it of purple microverse, which has not been topped and has a perfect even canopy within itself. Since purple microverse is the most apparent and biggest girl in the tent, let's check her out next. Again, from Nightowl. So first glance of the purple microverse, we could tell that she definitely got a little hungry and maybe just faded a little bit sooner than what I would have preferred. But that's the beauty of this plant. It protects its flowers by taking the nutrients from the leaves and then moving them to the flower. As we can all see, the flowers are a nice light shimmering green. Regarding the name purple microverse, honestly, out of all the purple microverses I've grown, none of them are purple. So that, I don't know, that kind of makes me sad a little bit. The trichome development on this plant, I would say it's on the lower side of density, not entirely impressing me. The aroma, however, has stayed true to a very sweet, for lack of a better term, purple skittles. There is no dank on this flower at all, and most of the time people, they describe sweet weed, you always smell the dank. But this one is not dank, literally, it's just sweet. Overall, from Nightowl, I would say the flowers came out pretty okay. Not bad at all. Especially for a grow that I was only checking in 1 or 2 times a week for less than 10 minutes, just watering. At this point in the video, Nightowl has a really strong statement. But now, let's check out Mephisto genetics. But just some quick backstory. A few years ago, I was quote unquote lucky enough to get one of the most last limited releases of Sour Crack. As in the near future, this strain was redacted and removed for throwing pollen sacs and for having a lot of male plants pop up. Now, at the time when I bought this strain, it was advertised as Mephisto's most staple strain. So that's what I believed what I'd be getting, and believed that it'd be a fair contender inside this 2x2. However, looking at Sour Crack, this flower development has to be one of the most undesirable plants I've ever grown. Ever. And growmies, you know me, I like to throw evers around a lot, but man, I'm really let down with these genetics. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm almost embarrassed just to show the plant, because technically I did grow this, but I look at the other plants next to it and I know this bud flower is not my fault. Obviously, I didn't grow it perfect at all, but the genetics did not shine in this environment. In fact, they're a complete sore eye. As far as the expression of Sour Crack on the aroma, it is a very woody, musky, herbal, and slightly teriyaki sauce. The trichome development is definitely the lowest density out of all of them. Oh man, Mephisto's gonna hate me. To where the trichomes don't even look good. I don't hate Mephisto, I love you guys. Anyways, this whole series, I titled it Mephisto Genetics versus Nightowl. But in reality, this was not a fair contest. Mephisto has way better plants than Sauerkraut. But let's keep in mind, that's how this fight went. So growmies, don't get mad. This is the results though. Before you guys get all crazy in the comments, I love both companies and I've been growing them for both over 4 years now, or at least close to 4 years. The title's all in fun, okay? Anyways, now that we've gotten all this out of the way, we actually have a secret underdog. The secret underdog, you say? Well, it's not that big of a secret because she is the biggest girl in the tent, or at least has the biggest flowers. This auto is known as Black Hole Haze. And again, I'm throwing it out. This is the biggest flowers I've ever grown in my life. Ever. Now, a lot of people make the claim that they like to grow small flowers because that's where the high quality is. Well, I like to grow high quality flowers too, but I'd rather grow high quality, big flowers with big quality. And Black Hole Haze is that rare occasion where you get both quality and massive flowers. The aroma on this plant rivals even my most favorite photo periods. Not even for just the pleasure of the scent, but for the intensity. This Black Hole Haze smells just as strong, if not stronger, than Northern Lights number 2. Now I know for some people, that's a big claim, but seriously, I've not smelled an auto at this potency in a while. It's even stronger than Grape Crinkle, which is one of my favorites. So what does it smell like, bro? Well, it smells like honeydew, chemical melon, green apple mixed with a pineapple. And the chemical scent is so powerful and beautiful. It really does smell like that hazy chemical weed. Rince's Reserve did absolutely amazing on his selection for creating this F1 cross. And let's add a little bit more knowledge about this F1 cross. The F1 from Rince's Reserve technically has not gone through any of the same breeding process that Nightowl and Mephisto has done, which has taken many generations and an extreme amount of years. But by Rince selecting 2 plants that he's personally experienced and likes, he was able to create a cross to have the best flower in the tent. And growmies, this is why I say don't be afraid to just cross your plants. You know, people will be like, oh, it's an F1, you're just pollen chucking or blah 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 blah. If you know good weed and you can pick good weed, you're gonna make a good cross. And that's exactly what happens across every generation. Anyways, now for the final vote, the reason I say that Rince has the best flower in this tent for this grow is because these are the biggest nugs. They are extremely dense, they smell the most intense, and the aroma is the most complex. I will say, Star Spangled Banner 3 looks pretty damn cool and definitely wins the bag appeal. But at the same time, depending on your eyes, I could see Black Hole Haze also winning the looks department. Anyways, this was the review portion and essentially a mini evaluation at the end of the grow for each plant. You guys said that you guys wanted longer videos, so I'm pushing the extra mile to add more content and make the videos just a little bit longer. But yeah, growmies, this is essentially one of the last episodes for the 2x2 grow. I'm not chopping them tonight, but I plan on chopping them tomorrow. So be sure to look out for future videos where I do a smoke report and grow report for each strand. At this point, every plant can look amazing, but until you try it, that's when you know it's actually amazing. So look out for the smoke reports coming soon. Also, up to this point, I want to add another note. There were a lot of times throughout Star Spangled Banner's life that I had so many doubts and harsh critic statements, but I'm not afraid to go back on my word and call my own self out. If there's one thing I learned, it's to never be negative about a plant and give it a chance to the end, which is exactly what we did, and we got rewarded. Now we can see that Star Spangled Banner 3 has produced immaculate fuel strawberry bubblegum flowers. As always, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and comment. If you haven't seen my other grow/smoke reports, check them out. Keep it up out there, growmies, and stay motivated in this beautiful medicinal hobby. #GrowMeGang.